going on, guys? Manslayer here. Huge shout out to ArcheAge Unchained for sponsoring my channel. They're currently having a free weekend to try out the game, so if you're at home looking for something new to do, maybe this will be something fun to invest some time into. Now, those of you that are familiar with ArcheAge may be wondering, hasn't that game been around for years? Well, this is actually a newer, updated version with some very interesting changes. So I'm actually not too familiar with the original, but from what I understand, in that version, there was a subscription model and you could essentially buy your way ahead. Of course, that probably frustrated many players that played strictly free to play. So ArcheAge Unchained is actually the retail version of the original popular ArcheAge MMO, which was free to play. The difference with the new version is you can now purchase the entire game without the subscription model. Credits can only be spent on vanity items and upgrading the free seasonal Arc passes. The premium version of the Arc Pass offers an additional chance to get cosmetic items. It's all about the skills, your dedication, and the decisions that you make. Arc Pass is an entirely new system in ArcheAge Unchained. There are 3 different passes for every 3-month season that players can obtain, which are tweaked for the major gameplay styles, combat, vocation, or equipment. And each of those passes takes about a month to complete. And the way the Arc Passes work is there are 2 tracks, one free and the other premium, which can be purchased. As you complete missions and objectives in the game, you level up the passes, which unlock the next tier rewards. The free track, which is of course available to everyone, contains progression and power items like labor potions or infusions, as well as diligence coins. The premium track contains cosmetic items such as costume images or dye tickets, and this track would be the best way to get more cosmetic items. When you complete missions in the Arc Passes, you only receive cosmetic items. Nothing will give players an advantage over others, which is definitely a huge plus. When you complete the free tracks in the Arc Passes, you'll earn diligence coins. Those coins can be used to get certain power and progression items in the marketplace. Some items can only be purchased with diligence coins, and a few examples would be labor recharges, tempering charms, boosts, pets, or farm kits. Those kind of items are only available with diligence coins, so they can't be purchased, so you actually have to work hard to obtain them. And when you first start this game, you'll quickly realize this game has a ton of things to do. You might even be a little overwhelmed, but that's actually half the fun. But this is actually where the Arc Passes can give you a bit of direction and give you something to focus on, because I've noticed that in other games, the passes, they'll always kind of give you something to go for. And there's actually all types of mounts that you can find, from horses, elks, snow lions. There's all types of things that you can ride to get around a lot quicker. But you have to raise them from a baby. You actually have to take care of them and feed them and all types of things. Or if you don't feel like doing that, you could always build a house. Or get a job. Become a cook. Become a farmer. And you can actually have a pet as well. I have a unicorn. Did I mention that there are a lot of things to do in this game? My first 4 or 5 hours, I was looking at icons and stuff going, that's not important. Yeah, I was wrong. I could barely defeat enemies, and that's when I realized, okay, it's time to actually learn what I'm doing here. And I did. I spent quite a few hours on it, and it has a lot of good things going for it. There's a large variety of areas to explore, like forests, deserts, dungeons, mountains, caves, islands, even underwater areas. It just keeps going. You can really see a lot of work and creativity went into designing the world, and that's definitely something I personally appreciate in open world games. I had actually spent hours exploring in forest, which opened up to hilly grasslands, which then led way to this huge desert, and it was honestly amazing. It's like something that you would have to experience yourself. And of course, take down any enemies along the way. Yeah, this guy had no chance. His buddies might be a little upset. I love checking out the environments. And there's also a variety of ways to travel. There's driving, flying, riding, sailing. Not gonna lie, it actually kind of threw me off for a second when I first saw a car pass by me with 4 other players in it. I wasn't expecting it. Like, I'm over here fighting an ogre or something with my medieval sword, and then a convertible drives by. But it actually makes sense, because there's actually cities in the game as well. I haven't even found one yet, but it makes sense when you realize that there are cities. When you start the game, there are 6 races to choose from. For example, elves, dwarves, or warborns. and they're all very customizable. I know a lot of you guys are open world MMO and RPG fans, so you'll definitely appreciate this. When you choose a race, that actually affects where you start in the game and also the story throughout as you play. The elves actually were recently revised in the latest update, Shadows Revealed. Swiftblade was introduced, which is designed to do a stealthy strike from the shadows. Along with the update were some great visual improvements. So I actually chose an elf, and I named him Wiggle Waggle. I know some of you know what that means. We won't talk about that. When you choose a race, you get to choose a skill set which will help determine the playstyle of your character. Then 2 additional skill sets can be chosen at level 10, then at level 15, followed by the ancestral system at 55. So there's a lot to look forward to when it comes to your playstyle and skills. Most skills cost 1 point and will determine the actual skills that you have, and each skill has ranks that you can level up as you play. The game has 22 crafting professions that use labor points in the labor system. Any type of crafting, such as picking vegetables, flowers, mining, cutting trees, they all cost labor points. Skill combos are an extremely fun feature that allow you to chain skills together to devastate enemies. For example, using a skill that, say, slows down an enemy and then follow it up with a barrage of arrows. As you rank up your skills, those combos can become even more devastating, allow you to annihilate with ease. If you're like me and you love talking to NPCs and finding new quests, it's gonna blow your mind when you hear that there's over 6,000 quests. It feels endless. Many times I'll find a new quest, and before even leaving the town, I'll see a few more available quests pop up. What's one more quest gonna hurt, right? Maybe 2, maybe 3. But one of the best features that I've seen in ArcheAge Unchained are the massive bosses. Krakens, dragons, and so much more. They're incredibly strong, and you'll need other players on the server to help defeat it. They are easily some of the most epic battles you'll find and feel pretty exhilarating when you manage to defeat one. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I was really hoping that these were enemies. Oh, they are alive. Well, this is strange. So I'm still a newbie at this game, but let's see how I can do against these guys. These guys destroyed me earlier. I leveled up my my skills a little bit, so oh, I still have some health left. Yeah, I got him. The more you play, the better you get, for sure. And guys, as we still need to keep distance, staying home and playing games is the safest way to spend your time. Gamergo has free games for every taste, so whether you want to play with friends or just looking for an alternative way to stay in touch with your family, check out gamergo.net. And don't forget, you can play ArcheAge Unchained for free right now this weekend. So once again, a huge thanks to Gamergo for sponsoring my channel and all you guys for supporting.